Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, we're from TRPL-201 present our presentation. Our team member. First, Ahmad Hafiz Habibi. Second, Megananda Suci Mulyani Pasolo. Third, Muhammad Sifa Abdul Rasid. Fourth, Ali Purnamadani. Fifth, Keisha Afrilvia. And last, Elizabeth Simamora. Okay, next.
So, the next slide is problem. People's behavior and habits have a big impact on reducing emission. However, the lack of adequate public transportation and limited access to information lead many people to rely on private vehicles. According to data from the Central Statistics Agency, the transportation sector contributes around 20% of greenhouse gas emission in the Kepulauan Riau and 60 to 70% of urban air pollution. The main pollutant is carbon dioxide, or CO2, along with other harmful gases that affect public health. Next. So, the solution is then our application I-TransEC carbon apps that helps users calculate and manage their carbon footprint from daily transportation activities by entering travel distance, transport type, and trip frequency. Users can estimate their emission. Key features include a carbon calculator, travel history, travel simulation, particle recombination, and offset emission. Offset option that convert emission into carbon credits, which can be traded or monetized. I-TransEC not only raises awareness, but also enables users to take real steps toward sustainable transportation. Next. So we have the application feature. 1. Calculate carbon emission. 2. Travel history. 3. Travel simulation. 4. Practical recommendation. 5. Reduce the carbon emission. 6. Local transportation data management. 7. Management of climate change now. So, next.
All right. For the application products, there is calculate carbon emissions page, which the first one, you choose your vehicle type, and then you click the mulai perjalanan, and the system will automatically calculate the distance and display your carbon dioxide emissions based on your movement. And then the end of your journey, the total emissions will be shown and saved to your travel history. Next. And then there is the second page, that's travel simulations page. This page, you can select the starting point and destinations, and then the system will simulate the travel path using real map data and instantly see the total distance and estimate carbon dioxide emissions for your trip. Next. And then the last page, there is redeem the carbon emissions page. In this page, you can redeem your emissions carbon. Your travel emissions are automatically calculated and converted into an Indonesian rupiah amount. The more emissions you produce, the higher the redemption's value. And then select this donations program to support environmental or social initiative. And no need to enter any amount. It's all set by the system. And then the last one, you proceed this payment securely and complete the redemptions. Next.
Next, application product benefits. 1. Helps users easily calculate daily transport carbon emissions. 2. Track travel history for better awareness of mobility pattern. 3. Simulate eco-friendly travel alternative for supporting an environmental sustainable through practical emission offset. 5. Encourage long-term behavioral change toward sustainable transport. Next. To ensure the app functions as intended, we use the black box texting method This method focused on testing input and output without code. Testing was conducted on key features such as login, carbon emission calculations, simulation, trip history, emission rhythm, and recommendation. We also validate the product through live trials to measure usability and accuracy of result. With this approach, we ensure the app not only functions correctly, but also provides a good user experience. Next.
Okay. In testing and validation plans, we have two examples from test case, functional 8 and functional 9. In functional 8, we calculate carbon emission with a valid data where user fills all required travel data correctly. In the condition, user is logged in and data input page is accessible. So, in the second area, the user open the calculate page to enter travel data, and system will display a calculation page with the vehicle option to be used. The user then select the vehicle to be used, then start the button. After a while, the user will press the stop button and the system will calculate the emission result based on the distance traveled by the user. The system will display the total amount of emission produced. So we expect the result to total carbon emission calculated and displayed correctly. And from our observation, the system successfully calculated and displayed the carbon emission total as expected. It's the same as the test case functional 9, where we calculate carbon emission with user but not filling travel data and start calculate. In this test case, user start calculation process without entering any travel data. So the scenario will be the user open the calculation page to enter the travel data. The system then display a calculation page with the vehicle option to be used, but the user does not select the vehicle to be used. And the system should not begin tracking because no vehicle is selected. Then after the user press the start button, the system should detect missing data and prevent calculation. Even if the user presses stop button, the system should display an error message indicating incomplete input. We expect that the system show error message like please complete the travel data before calculation. And on our observation, the system successfully not calculate and display any carbon emission. So in the implementation of minimum course requirement in PBL, in Statistica, our application process emission data and presented our footprint using clear data visualization like graphic and representation. In data structure, we applied data structure to manage user travel history and emission calculation. In introduction to project management, our application create project timeline, task division, and resource planning through the PBL. On software design, our application developed use case diagrams, activity diagram, and object-oriented system structure.
In object orientation programming, an application implement kebiasaan logging using OP. In database programming, the application design an optimized relational database for user, transport data, and emission, and the less in nation language education and application drafted technical reports, product documentation, and final project presentation. Next. This is the conclusion. This PBL project successfully produced a website application called I-TransEC, designed to help users calculate and monitor their carbon footprint from transportation activities. The application includes key features such as emission calculation, travel history through simulation, practical recommendation, and carbon redemption through the tebus emisi feature. Testing results show that the application is stable, secure, and user-friendly. I-TransEC not only provides information but also educates user about the impact of carbon emission and enables them to offset it through carbon credit feature. Therefore, this application has the potential to become a practical solution in encouraging lifestyle change toward more environmentally conscious transportation habits. Next.
Reflection concern with environmental issues. Throughout the design and testing process, we will learn the information framework, like management, applying the range in response to the real situation. Advances still has several targeted development, especially in data integration and visualization techniques. We hope this application can have a positive impact in raising public awareness about the transportation-related emission. Okay, that's all about our presentation. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.